Hello everyone, this is Steve Alexander. I'm going to talk about a strategy today called RSI 3X, Alex RSI 3X. That's my email address. Feel free to write to me. I respond to emails whenever I can, most of the time within a day or two. And so I'm glad to talk about anything to do with trading. Let's take that off of there. Take that off of there. Credit for the beginning here of where this idea came from. This original idea was from Larry Connors. He wrote a book, I think it's been maybe 10 years ago or so, regarding RSI and trading RSI. So I've refined it a little bit and put various things into it that I'll explain as we go along. And what we're showing on the screen is TQQQ, which is the triple Qs, or NASDAQ 100. These are daily bars, so each bar represents 1 day of trading. The trades are shown in blue or cyan for winning trades, so this is a winning trade here. We entered here and got out there, entered here and got out there. This is the longest trade in the run here. It's about 4 months or so. Usually they look more like this, maybe a month or thereabouts. And overall, let's see what time frame we're working with here. I'm looking back 13 months. So in the past 13 months, right at the beginning, there's a period of 30 days that it does not trade because it has to amass all of the data it needs to look at, or to calculate RSI, for example. And so there's actually 12 months of trading involved here. So this is TQQQ daily for 12 months looking back. And in that period of time, here's what the chart looks back. And here's the first 30 days it does not trade, and then off we go and we start trading. And in the entire year that we've been going there, it has never lost a trade. So this is, if you had just followed this strategy, you'd win every trade. And so how much money would you make? We're starting with $100,000. Notice there are no other parameters. So there's no curve fitting involved here. It's just, that's how it is. And in 1 year, the profit is $104,695. It made 13 trades in 1 year, so approximately one every month, and double the money. So you started with 100, you would have $204,695. Very strong strategy. I like that kind of thing. You can look at the performance graph. This is with all the little wiggles in it, and this one's without the wiggles, winning every single trade. The periodical returns I always like to look at to see month by month how would we have done. And it does very well in all the months except March. That's the month when there was a big drawdown, big pullback, so it would have, during that month, you would have been down 17,000. But for the whole thing, that's this time right in here. So that's why it would have been big losers there, but the rest of the whole time, you're up, doubling your money. You might want to know right up front, does it also make money on other things? And the answer is yes, it does. So, for example, I'll use TNA, which is, that's also a triple. All of these are ETFs, by the way. It's not geared to trade on anything but ETFs. So here's TNA, which is the triple IWM, or the Russell 2000, but it's a triple. And so does it make money? Yes, makes 31,000, which is 31%. Made 6 trades, won all of them. Let's try another one. How about SPXL? That's the SPY triple long. And on SPY also makes about 31,000. Made 8 trades, wins them all. So far we don't see any losing trades. It does lose a trade once in a while, but it's mostly it just wins. Now back to TQQQ. That's during 1 year back, so I thought, let's take a little look at what's longer. And I thought to myself, this is really unusual, something that doubles your money and wins all the trades. So how would this do over a period of, instead of 13 months, let's go back 25 months, because that would be 2 years. 24 months for 2 years, plus the month that's dead. And let's see what happens on that one. And here's the performance report for 2 years. It makes 209,000, so another 100,000 in the second year, and it also wins every single trade. So this is getting way too strong. I say to myself, oh, we've got to try 3 years. So we'll go back to 3 years, which would be 37 months. Somewhere in here, there's got to be a losing trade. We're going to find it. Okay, finally we lost 1 trade in 3 years, and our profit is still in the 300%, about 100% per year. And so that's how it's doing. This one's only 96% profitable. But the point is that this is extremely profitable, and it works over a range of things and a range of time. So I'm going to go back to 13 months now, and it will recalculate. We'll get the 104,000, I think it was. Okay, there we go. Now, so let's see what's going on the chart here. First of all, there's some bars on the chart that I want to explain. This white bar up here, and this white bar, and this yellow one, and this purple bar, these are put on there by the strategy. And they're there because the way this trades, it gets the signal, and then it enters, it puts in an order for the following day. So the day that it gets the signal, it doesn't trade. It waits for the bar to be completely closed and then enters a trade for the following day. So let me give you a close-up example of that. Over here, for example, we're in a trade, and on this bar we got a signal that said, okay, time to get out. So we didn't get out on that bar, but the very next day we get out. Then we move along, and over here we get a signal. This is the white bar below the low, means that we're going to get out. This is a selling, or excuse me, we'll get in. This is a buying signal. So we'll buy the very next day. That's over here. Then we get a yellow bar, and it says buy the next day, so we'll buy again. And the purple bar is the final buy, and it says buy the next day, and we buy right there. So that's what's going on, and these are 3 trades. Those are the 3 places where it bought. And then it doesn't get a sell signal until way over here in June, and it gets this big white bar, and that says sell everything tomorrow. The sells are always done selling everything you own. So we scale in by putting in 1/3 of our capital. I'll show you the code in a minute here, but we start with 100,000. So each of these buys would be only $33,000. So we buy 33, and then we get out of both trades. Here we buy 33. We've got the whole 100 grand in, and we don't get out until over here. So that's what it looks like on the chart, and the little bars are there to warn me of tomorrow I want to make a trade. It lets me know that I need to get up early enough to get into the market and make a trade. Although I have made these trades as late as 7, maybe even 7:30 in the morning. So it's not crucial that you get there right at the open and be really exact. Anywhere near that on the next day is just fine. Okay, well, let's look at the code then. There it is. Easy language coming up. Larry Connor's idea was to use RSI. In his book, he has 2 books about this same kind of thing. One of them, I believe, was called High Probability Strategies for Trading ETFs, or something along that line. And his latest one is called Buy the Fear, Sell the Greed. Buy the Fear, Sell the Greed by Larry Connors. Very good author and excellent excellent ideas, I think. Okay, so his idea is that when RSI, we use the 4-period RSI, that's right here, RSI 4. And we use 3 levels. Now, he didn't propose this, the 40, 30, 20. I made this up. So and what we're going to do is when RSI drops below 40, I say that's the trigger for the first long entry. And if it keeps on going lower and drops below 30, we'll buy again. And if it drops below 20, we'll buy again. So that's 3 long entries. You could play around with this and try 4 if you want, or whatever you like. And then the exit, I played around with the exits, and right around 90 works fine for the exit. In fact, 90 would be just as good as 91. There's a little bit of difference, but for TQQQ, 91 is slightly better than 90. So I said, what the heck, I'll keep it. Okay, and then we have our bankroll in there and the day we entered the trade and how many open buys we have. That's so we can track, are we in or not. So first thing is we set our running bankroll. I just call it bankroll, but it's our running bankroll because this does pyramid. It does compound trades as you go along. Whatever our beginning bankroll was, which is 100,000, then we set that to bankroll, and then we're off and running. This is where we calculate the size of our trade. This is shares, and it's the integer portion of our bankroll divided by close divided by 3. So that's 1/3 of our bankroll is what we're trading. Okay, next thing we do is if we don't have any open buys and RSI now, in other words, this is the current RSI, is less than that RSI low figure, then we want to go ahead and buy. That would be the 40. RSI low is 40. So it's right here. If RSI now is less than 40, then we'll begin. These things right here, this value 1, 2, 3, this is what draws those lines on the chart. TradeStation won't let you plot like a dot or something like that, which is what I'd rather do, but they don't allow plotting during strategies, so we do it this way instead. So this is what draws the line that says go ahead and buy this. And then we buy, we call it L1 because it's long, 1 share, or 1 tranche. Next bar at market, so tomorrow we'll buy. Day entered, we can use today or tomorrow, either one, but we're using today. Open buys is 1, and that's it. The second buy, if it happens, if our open buys is 1, the date is greater than the first one, and now RSI is less than lower, this would be the 30 figure, we'd go ahead and buy. And when we do, we set those, we color the bars there, and once again we make it L2, and that's all there is to do there. Third time, this is what the third time buy looks like. I'm leaving these on the screen so you can copy them down if you want to. Although if you write to me and you're a programmer who wants to work with this, I'll send you the code. Okay, exiting. Well, how do we know when to get out? Well, If our RSI now figure is, if RSI is greater than, this would be the 90 or 91, and where date is greater than the last buy that we had, then we'll draw our little line there that says get out. We'll sell all our shares, so we sell them all, we don't scale out any more than we scaled in. And we sell all the shares in expired market. Bankroll, this is our running bankroll, is equal to whatever we started with plus our net profit. Net profit is all the profit we've made on all the trades since we began running this. Set open bias to 0 again, and off we go. So that's the code that's actually doing it. And that's the strategy. If you have questions or comments about this, by all means, send me an email, and I'll be glad to talk with you about it. That's it for now.